Hello, I am back and I am feeling quite craptacular today. I think it's the allergies and stuff, but not doing me very good at all. I'm making this video as a response to the news this week that Osama bin Laden had been killed by our special ops forces, and the subsequent reaction of some American people to the news of bin Laden's death. And I am American, you know. I am not a Osama bin Laden supporter by any stretch of the imagination. What concerned me, I think, the most is a reaction that I saw on the television of some of the people and how they were rejoicing at the news that bin Laden had been killed. We all knew, it had all been set out and said that, we were looking for him, we're going to capture him dead or alive. So the news that he had been killed really wasn't all that surprising. It was in the making. It took a while. We expected it to be sooner, but it took a while. But something about the rejoicing that I saw from so many people just felt wrong on some type of level. And I'm not completely through, processing it yet, but it just felt wrong. It's like I understand that he has done so many terrible things, and so many of our own citizens had died as a result of his actions and the actions of Al-Qaeda. So I'm not naive, to why certain people felt the need to rejoice. But the rejoicing in the death of another person kind of takes away some of our humanity as people. I heard afterwards there were a lot of people from the families from the Twin Towers, for September 11th, that though they had a sense of relief that bin Laden was no longer alive, it didn't bring back their loved one. It didn't change the fact that their loved one is no longer there with them. And a lot of them felt conflicted between the justice that they felt they received from bin Laden being killed, contrasted against the fact that their loved one is not here. So that's what kind of bothers me about the whole situation with bin Laden. Like I said, I'm not a supporter, I'm not Muslim, I'm not, I'm not Islamic, I'm not whatever. The question I think I want to ask people, the U.S. or other people in general is, especially the people in the U.S., is like, where's our humanity in celebrating the death of someone, What if things had been turned and it was one of our elected officials that had been killed and there were people on the other side celebrating the death of that person? I don't think that they would feel okay about it, Who are we as people if we rejoice in a death, Something about it feels wrong. It just feels wrong. I ran across a quote by Dr. Martin Luther King that says, I mourn the loss of thousands of precious lives, but I will not rejoice in the death of one, not even an enemy. Returning hate for hate multiplies hate, adding deeper darkness to a night already devoid of stars. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. How do we, from these events, how do we as a country move on now that there has been closure from the person who precipitated the September 11th attacks? How do we as a country and as a people pick ourselves up and move forward so that something like this won't happen again? What is it that we're doing in our politics, in our engagements with other countries, so that way we cultivate these types of angry people that want to hurt and destroy us? These are real questions that we need to ask ourselves, that we need to ask our politicians and those that represent us, because though Bin Laden has been killed, the rest of his network has not. And that is something very real that we need to face. What are we doing? What as a nation are we doing? What as a people are we doing? I don't know. Bin Laden's dead. And like I said, it was something that was going to happen eventually. But I think now, as American people, we need to look at ourselves and figure out what we're going to do, in which direction we're going to go in, and how we're going to govern ourselves in relation to other countries. So, that's my 2 cents. Thanks.